At number 10 we have Waterside Night. It's about Omega Kim Yuihyunzi, a person who always think about death and the burden he bears every single day. One day while he was running away from his debtor, he suddenly thought of ending his life together with the child in his arms. But he was caught by an alpha, Yo Taeju. After the encounter in the seaside, Yo Taeju pay all the department Yuihyunzi has in exchange of sleeping with him. Yuihyunzi didn't really agree with it, but he can't do anything because Yo Taeju give him a house and a food too to live. Also Yo Taeju is the current debtor of Yuihyunzi. This story is not so cute because it's a type of fierce manhwa. But I really like the way the author draw this manhwa. It just hits so different. Also the mystery about the child is really something. I personally think that the child is somewhat related to Yo Taeju. At number 9 we have Mad Dog. It's about the young master from the household of gangsters Hamin. Hamin is a person who wanted to live a normal life. During his school days he often get blamed from something he never did just because he came from a household of gangster. Because of all the things he encountered being the child of a gangster, he cut ties with his father and live a normal life in a normal city. But he got kidnapped by some random guys who wanted to film him and send it to his father. But unfortunately the right-hand man of his father got there before something happened to the young master. And that's where Sehyuk made his way into Hamin's daily life. This manhwa is so hot and amazing in so many ways. The thing I like about this manhwa is the art style. Because the art style really hit different from the other manhwas, and it's really giving the hot and cool type of manhwa. At number 8 we have Shutline. It's about Shin, a person who barely make anything and doing some rogue mechanic on the mean city street. While his was waiting for some cars to do, he happened to see Jake with some trouble in his car. Jake is a leader of a gangster with a tall, blonde, and dressed like $1 million appearance. With the thought that Jake is a jackpot, he asked him to open his car to make it more handy to use. But Shin does an extra service to people who wanted to sew. With the satisfaction Jake get in Shin, he asked his number to contact him when there's some trouble in his car. Little did Shin know that the encounter with Jake will turn his life upside down. This manhwa is the real definition of gangster, though is kinda don't like how white Jake is, like literary white. But it's giving the hot vibes or something. At number 7 we have Origin of Species. This manhwa is another Omega-verse type manhwa with the theme of Mafia Boss and gangsters. Anyways it's about the self-made chaebol Seo Sunghyun, an alpha who receive a secret request from a high-ranking executive of a company to win a weapon at the secret auction in Shanghai. But unfortunately the auction cancelled because someone who interfered to the system. Hacker Lee Youngin is a really talented hacker who hacked the system of the auction under the direction of a mysterious person in exchange of money. After the cancellation of auction, Seo Sunghyun happened to find the culprit behind it. Capturing Lee Youngin is like a piece of cake to them. After capturing Lee Youngin, he asked him a favor about the whereabouts of the weapon. Lee Youngin agreed to help them in exchange of his colleagues that ISN need to be released. They agree with EAC other condition and that where their proposals start with each other. Also the collateral of their contract is really giving. This manhwa is one of the best manhwa I've read so far. I really like the art style one the idea of the author in this manhwa. Also our hacker is so pretty to do some things like hacking, but I still love it. At number 6 we have Roses and Champagne. It's about Leon, a Korean-American lawyer who live as a poor lawyer in Russia despite having a flamboyant job. Even after working as a lawyer he's still in his grandmother's house and always run from his grandma's home to the firm he worked just to save up money for him to go back in Korea. While Caesar is the next head of the Serge I Mafia group, one day he walks inside of his employee and slap him with the complaint form and the other court injunction he made where Caesar is in the scene. Caesar took an eye to him and asked him to be his lawyer, in some cases his facing. Then that's where their story start. I really can explain it more precisely, but this manhwa is so good and have a really cute storyline. Also the art style is great and pleasing to read. At number 5 we have Cover Up. It's about the tattoo artist Guwa who got invited to meet Sungjae, the son of a gangster family in Japan, to help him cover up the scar he gets somewhere. After the first season of the tattoo he stayed at Sungjae receding for a while doing the tattoo on his back. But while staying at Japan his obsessive boyfriend got to find him and abuse him. After Guwa slapped his ex-boyfriend a glass of jar, he run away from his total and call Sungjae for soon help, and that's where story start. This manhwa has a very cool kind of art style. It's all surely suit all of your taste. Also the plot of the story is really something. I don't know why people read this too much. At number 4 we have Bound to Be Fools. It's about Kangjin, a very loving son his demanding father. but because of too much demand and expectation from his father, he decided to take his life in their school's rooftop, but he was saved by Youngkwan, the class president of who excels in everything despite coming from a poor family. After that scene they end up being friend and fall in love with each other. But after a shameful moment in the life of Youngkwan, he cut ties to Kangjin but still meet after years of not seeing each other. This manhwa will make you cry and angry when you read this. Also the manhwa is currently ongoing, so I really don't want to get ahead myself and raise my hopes up. At number 2 we have Our Companionship. It's about Sanghwa, a shy and introvert person who have a long-time crush on his best friend Ryoan. With the appearance and the talent Ryoan has, Sanghwa thinks that he can't compete to the other people who have the same feeling for Ryoan. To divert his attention to Ryoan, he started playing a game called The Legend of Saga, an online game where he meet the cute healer the Great Mirai, who happened to be a real-life gangster. This manhwa is so cute and the really heartbreaking because of his befriend and his love story, but it turned out so well, so I think it's fine after all. At number 2 we have Our Companionship. It's about Sanghwa, a shy and introvert person who have a long-time crush on his best friend Ryoan. With the appearance and the talent Ryoan has, Sanghwa thinks that he can't compete to the other people who have the same feeling for Ryoan. To divert his attention to Ryoan, he started playing a game called The Legend of Saga, an online game where he meet the cute healer the Great Mirai, who happened to be a real-life gangster. This manhwa is so cute and the really heartbreaking because of his befriend and his love story, but it turned out so well, so I think it's fine after all. At number 1 we have Under the Green Light. It's about Matthew, a sculpture student who live as an isolated person for some reason. One day he happened to meet Jin at the coffee shop he works at. Jin is Matthew's longtime crush since he was a kid. After their encounter at the coffee they happened to see each other more often. As a sculpture student, Matthew asked Jin a favor to be his model because he believes that Jin is the most beautiful person on earth. Jin agreed to the favor of Matthew in exchange of having him in the bed. Matthew on the other hand don't find anything wrong with the idea because he likes Jin since he was a kid. This manhwa is a heartbreak. I never expect the ending and scene in this manhwa, but still one of the best manhwa I've read so far. That's it. I hope you guys have a great time watching this video and figure out what manhwa you should read next. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you like this video. Also share it with your friends who also having a hard time choosing a new manhwa to read.